Hello, everyone. Welcome to MJ Hobby Corner. Today is Wednesday, and I am going to be playing a game of one-page rules. This is Age of Fantasy, and I have decided that I will start my little mini Cavern campaign with Dark Elves and underground races, all set in an underground setting. Okay, so I get to use all of that cool cavern terrain that I've made in the past few months and worked so hard on. So today is the day. I'm going to start this little campaign, see how it goes, and we're going to do a number of slightly different things with Age of Fantasy. The rules that I will be using come from the Age of Fantasy Patreon. So we want to explore with slightly different things from the Patreon rules and perks that you get to give a little more flavor to this campaign. Now, in the future, I may add a couple of house rules to kind of fit the cavern setting, because I have a lot of ideas for the future caverns and everything. But why don't we discuss Age of Fantasy first, very briefly, then move on to introduce the warbands, the objective tokens, and of course, the enemies. Okay, and so my Dark Elves are deployed as such, and there are the dice that we will be using for the bag. Okay, and that's why I have those dice there. Mine are white. The Skellies will have those cool gray dice. Okay, and so there's one unit of Skellies there with that huge dude with the weird wings. That's actually a dollar store mini. Yes, I have no shame. I use dollar store minis as well, if I like them. And he is in a unit of Skellies, all swordsmen. And then we have another unit of Skellies. Now there's two guys with spears, so they are using the phalanx rule ×2 because of the spears. Here is one objective marker. This is the middle one. All right, and so it is the actual coffin with the Skelly is an objective marker. These guys here are in the area to protect that coffin. Okay, and here is another objective marker right up on the stone up there. Okay, and models can climb this weird skeletal spider thingy, this corpse. You can climb it up to get to that. There's also this floating stone that is an objective marker, so that is number 2. 3, we have another floating stone right here, okay, on this side of the board. So just to give you guys an idea of where the objectives are, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's the Skelly is actually not in the middle. This one is in the middle, but he's kind of the important one. And then we have one objective marker, which is another treasure chest way up here. And models can climb this ladder, rope, whatever thing, and get up there. Okay. Now for the AI, the only thing I'm going to do is if the AI is closer to a ladder than a model, and there is a model up there, a player model up there, it will go for the closest enemy. So it will climb up, and that's how the AI climbs. Okay, and so I will be following any climbing rules. I believe you get like a half move when climbing. I'll have to check that. Okay. So that's that, and we came by boat. Here is the little edge of the water. There's a river here, and we just arrived, and that's it. This is my setup. So these guys are arranged in a unit, and that means that they have to stick to the coherency rules. Okay, so all unit dice are in this nifty bag that my niece made for me some time ago. And let's get this game rolling. So round one, I'm gonna do round summaries and just summarize the important stuff that happened during the round, unless of course combat starts very early, and then I'll do a couple of combat examples. But this will help my editing. It also keeps the game report a little shorter than normal. All right. Let's see what happens round one. I'm going to show the dice that comes out of the bag. Dun, dun, dun. Now, normally you would roll for initiative to see who goes first, but we're going to do this, and it looks like enemies get the first move. So, AI it is. Okay. Okay, round one is over, just like that. Here is the position of my two dark warriors, Alyjra here, and I believe that is Novrella. Novrella, yeah, I gotta remember these names. So Novrella and Alyjra, two dark warriors, they're approaching this big bone giant dude with his little skelly friends. Now here, the skellies moved towards Alyjra, okay, but they had to rush, which means they can't do any other move. They didn't charge, and so they can only go within an inch of her. But next round, they're going to be attacking if it's their turn. And then my little Alyjra here and her two crossbowmen, who is it? Liam and Devas. They fired. Okay, they did 2 hits on the skellies. One of the skelly defended, and then the other wound was denied by the regeneration rule, which is really annoying. And these guys do have snipers, so that means that whoever they hit, and I was targeting that spear dude there, acts as a single model instead of a unit. So there's slightly different rules for singles as opposed to units. And unfortunately, though, they regenerated, so no wounds cost to the skellies. All right, round 2. Let's get on with it. Let's see what I can do. All dice enter the bag, and there is an extra gray dice because the Wraith now enters the board on round 2. It has ambush, so it comes in at round 2. I'm going to do 1 through 2, 3 to 4, and 5 through 6 to see where it comes out. So let's just roll a dice. 5 through 6. So it comes out on this corner, and that's where it will be. Whoops. Let's just get him an area where he can stand. And that is it. The Wraith has entered the board. Its dice is in the bag. And oh dear. All right, moving on to round 2. I'm going to do summary this time for round 2. Unless something really cool happens, then I'll document it. Okay, let's just see who does first movement. And it's a gray dice. So I'm going to roll again to see which unit gets it. Okay, so that's the Wraith. And I usually start 1 through 2 when there's 3 units, 1 through 2, 3 to 4, and 5 through 6. Those will be, those are the numbers that I use to see who activates. Since everything is randomized in the AI, that's the way I do it. So the Wraith is going to get to act first. Okay, here at the end of round 2, Alyjra and Moa are going to counterattack. Now, keep in mind that I could have counterattacked. I forgot that. And when she was attacked last turn, they could have done a counterattack. I didn't do that. I should have. Oh well. Let's move on. Moa has 2 white dice. She has 2 black dice. And reason is that Moa hits on 5+. Yikes. And Alyjra hits on 4+. Okay. Now, they all have Toxins. So they have AP1. So that means -1 defense to the Skellies. Of course, Skellies are immune to Toxins. But because she has a great weapon, it's AP1. So, okay. So 4 she hit. That's a miss. And Maw hit once. Okay. Alright, so 2 hits go through. Now Skellies get -1 to their defense. Skellies and undead, basically. I'm saying they're immune to Toxins, alright? Unless it's some kind of magical thing. So only the black dice has AP1. And Skellies are going to roll 2 defense dice. So AP1, so that misses, that goes through, and another wound goes through. So now their regeneration rolls. Let's see if I can wipe them out. 5s. No, yes, no, Skellies don't get regeneration, and 2 Skellies are shattered. Dun, 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 dun. All right, so now 1 Skelly is left. So now things change. That is no longer a unit. That means they go by the wound check table to see if they're taken out or not. And that is the end of round 2 with smashing of the Skellies. All right, round 3. This game's almost over. Oh, no. All right, let's see what I can do here. We are almost freeing that objective. Yes, but Mr. Bones over here, the weird dollar store Skelly, is coming around the back secretly. He's moving towards me. So, oh dear. All right. Oh, and by the way, these objectives should have been farther away, okay? They have to be at least 6 inches away, but because of the story, I'm just putting them together. These objectives are close because the floating stone has something to do with the dead guy in there. So, sorry I didn't mention that earlier. All right, round 3. This game's almost over. All right, so I'm going to film a full round 3 because game's almost ending, and you know how that is. All right, we don't want the battle report too short. Choosing a gray dice. All right, and now we're rolling to see who gets this. So 1 through 2, 3 to 4, Bones and his little minions there. 5 through 6 is that final Skelly. And I forgot that they can retaliate. Damn it. Alright, I'm gonna do a, I'm just gonna keep going. So let's see. 1 through 2, 3 to 4. Damn it. Just the ones I didn't want to move. Are there any enemies in the way? Yes, because that's the objective. So, and that's an objective, actually. But it's very clear there is at least 1 enemy in the way. So, yes, charge enemy if possible, else rush towards objective. Well, it is possible to rush me, to charge me, and so he will. Damn bastard. So he charges in, and of course it's the whole unit that charges. You know, they have activated. All right, so looks like Bones and 2 others are touching me. I'm just going to check something real quick, because I believe only those 3 can attack. Only 3 get to attack, which is Mr. Bones over there, that big guy. And he hits pretty hard. So, for a Skelly, that is. Alright, so Mr. Bone guy hits on 4s. He has a great axe, so he is 3 dice. Yikes. That's his 3 dice, and I'm going to use different colors for the other dice. And it looks like I have 2 regular swordsmen, so 2 white dice. Okay, and swords are attacks of 1, so 1 dice each. Oh man, so he hits on 4s. All of them hit on 4s. Okay. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to see what I can do. Yikes! Oh, they hit hard. All right, so looks like all of Bone Giants went through, and 1 of the Skelly Swords went through. This did not go through, so I'm going to re-roll these as defense, but I'm going to try Defensive Stance. Let's see what that's all about. All right, I was going to do an extra action called Defensive Stance. That is the extra action for this game to try it out. However, I do not meet the conditions. I had to call that before the Skellies struck, and that will give them a -2 to their rolls. I did not do that, so their rolls are going to go through, and I'm just going to do a regular defense. So the black dice are 6+, white dice 4+. All right. And yeah, I do not block. All 3 hits go to Alyjra, and then he doesn't block, so 1 hit goes. Okay, so he takes 1 more wound, and basically he is out of there. He doesn't roll on the wound check table. He's basically out of there. And then she is going to take the other 3 wounds, which means that 1 more hit on her, and she is out of there. Okay. They are going to strike back. So Alyjra gets 2 dice, and Maw gets 2 dice. All right. So let's roll. All right, Maw gets 1 hit, which is a 5. He rolled a 5 and a 4. And Alyjra gets a 4 and a 2. So she hits with the 4. That is 2 hits on the Skelly unit. And because they are a unit, 2 Skellies go down. Now, I can only retaliate if I'm not stunned. If anybody is stunned, they cannot do the retaliation roll. All right. And again, I forgot to do Defensive Stance. That might have helped. All right. Next is a white dice. So, all right. I'm going to give it to Evashandra and Novrella. And these 2, I'm going to give them... See, they can't rush because they're going to be climbing. So, all right, let's see. We got, that's 3 inches to here, and 3 inches to climb. So I'm just going to put their dice, just put 3 inches on the dice there. I'll have to replace it in just a minute. So they are now climbing. Let me see if they can actually... Inches up the giant spider, and they're making their way to that objective. All right, that's the best thing I can do to try to get stuff. All right, now... Oh, let's see. And another white dice, so that I'll give to my little Alyjra there, the Drider, with her 2 crossbow repeater dudes. Okay, so I moved my Alyjra unit. Okay, so 2 repeater crossbows and the bow. Now, because they have sniper, I'm going to allow to fire into combat. There is some rules about firing into combat. I couldn't really find them in my pages. So just to keep the game going, we're going to say they can fire into combat because they have the sniper rule. Now, a big bone dude there is going to be the one who absorbs the hit. So yeah, that is a big thing. The enemy will get -4. And regeneration wouldn't count. That's because their crossbows are powerful. So let's just get 2 dice for the crossbows. They hit on 2s. 2s! 2s it is. And they all hit. They all hit. Alright. So, that's a good thing. Now he gets to roll blocks. And he has regeneration, but 4 of the dice will not take into account regeneration. He can't defend 4 of the hits. That's good. Let's see if it defends the 2 hits. Okay, and her bow, well, he defends on 1. 1 goes through. He's going to do regeneration on that one because that one, the bow is not affected by rending. So, yes, he regenerates that one. So, he blocked 2 of the bow hits, but then the 4 crossbows go through. No regeneration. He has toughness 3. So, that is 3 wounds. And because he had 4, that extra one is going to have him roll on the wound table. And it gets a +1 because of the last wound. He rolls a 1 and a 2, and he is stunned. I didn't read anything that undead don't get stunned, so he is going to go on his side, and he's going to be stunned. All right, so Skellies strike back with their little rusty swords, and they hit on 4s, and oh yeah, well, rusty swords work. All right, so 1 hit, and that she did not block, and so she's going to roll on the wound check table because she sucks at blocking. So that's wound check +1. She rolled a 3, +1 is 4. She is stunned. Ooh, that sucks. So that's the situation. So if Bones is taken out, here are the casualties for that. If Bones and the other Skelly is taken out, and I think I actually have 1 more on his side. 4, 5, yeah. If he gets taken out, then that dice goes with him, and if 1 more Skelly on this side gets taken out, then actually that was like that. That was correct. So 1 more guy gets taken out, then that dice gets taken out of the bag. So do have to keep track of the different units so that you know which dice gets taken out as the unit is taken out. So that's the only thing I have to say about that. And I'm very forgetful. All right. So that 1 Skelly's going to attack more. He gets 1 attack, so 1 measly little attack, and I get to strike back, so maybe I can wipe him out. And he rolls a 2. Skelly's hit on 4, so he missed. I get to strike him back with Moa, and Moa has 2 dice, and he hits on 5s. 1 hit goes through. Skelly gets to defend. And of course he defends. Of course he does. Alright. And go to step 2. Are there any enemies in the way? Yes, I would definitely say so. So, charge the enemy if possible, else rush towards the objective. Right at the bottom of the spider. And I'm using my measuring tape for that. All right, and that's the end of round 3. Going on to the last round, folks. And Wraith is right at the end, trying to climb up. Yeah, that's bad news. And then we have this mess going on here. Okay, let's go to round 4. This is critical. Decisions are going to be very critical in this round because I am 1 less. Even if I get to claim that objective, depends on what that stupid Wraith does. If there's any enemies within 3 inches of any of those objectives, I don't claim it. So, yeah, I got to get rid of these guys so I can claim objective there. And possibly, if I can claim these 2 objectives, get all those Skellies out the way, I can at least tie the game. Or even beat the game, possibly. All right, let's do it. All right, so Skellies still have 3 dice. That's going to change. But they have 3 dice in the bag, and I have 3 dice, so it's 50-50. But that's going to change real soon, hopefully. hopefully in my favor. All right, so choosing a dice, and it's gray. No. All right, so gray. So 3 to 4 for the skelly that's with Bone Giant there, and then 5 through 6 is that last skelly. So the last skelly is on Maw. Let's see who goes. 1 through 2, it goes to the Wraith. There, I randomized. All right, so I put some sticky mounting medium on that Wraith so he can balance, and he balances right between them. They're all about 3 inches up the spider there, and yeah. So now that really complicates things for me because I can't get them up. I really needed initiative this turn, so it doesn't look like, I don't know. We'll see. All right, so Wraith gets to attack, and Wraiths are bastards. They hit on 3+. He has a scythe with A1, AP2. So that is not good. He hits my unit. Now, none of my girls have toughness. So guess what? This could be the end of one of them. All right. He hits with A5 with that huge-ass scythe. He has AP2. One of my girls is going to try to block. There's 2 of them. Both wounds go through. Oh, man. So 1 wound kills 1 girl. She dies and falls. Ah! She falls down. She's dead. She's out of the game, though. And the other wound is going to go to Alyjra. She is the only model in the unit. So she's going to have to roll a wound check with a +1. She rolls a 2. She is now stunned. However, let's see if there are any falling rules. Okay, so since she was hit, she is going to fall. And she falls. Oh, dear. Let's see. Let me check with my measuring stick here. This is excellent for a lot of terrain. So that's 3 inches. So that's a hit with AP1 plus the AP for every 3 inches fallen. So that is AP2. So that's 2 wounds that she has. 1 for the hit, 1 for the fall. She's going to roll again on the wound check table. +2. She rolls a 2. +2 is 4. She is not dead, but she is stunned. Basically, her part in this story is done. She fell off the spider. Ah! Let's see who goes first. This is by the honor system now. Believe me, I wouldn't cheat. It's not fun when you cheat. All right, so 1 dice. My dice. I'm going to give it to Maw. I'm going to try to wipe out the skelly there. And that will really help my cause. So Maw has 2 dice. His toxin stuff doesn't work because he is fighting undead. So he's going to have to crunch him. All right, Mr. Maw. He rolls a 6 and a 4. 1 hit goes through to the 1 skelly. And he is the last skelly in the unit. So he is going to roll on the wound check table. But first, he rolls a defense. And the skelly rolls a damn 6. So Skelly blocks that hit. No need to go any further. Yeah. Skelly gets a restrike. So Skelly now rolls 4+. He rolls a 2. He does not strike back successfully. So he misses with his rusty sword. I pull out another dice. It is a gray dice. He gets 1 dice. He rolls a 4. And he hits. Alright, so we're charging up now. Okay, so Skelly attacked. Did a hit on... I'm going to put this dice here so I remember because I tend to forget things. Alright, and this guy has a wound there. Alright, so Skelly attacked my guy here, Maw. And Maw he's a Dark Stalker. He has 4+ defense, so he has to defend on 4+. And he rolls a 4, So he defends. That is that. Now, Maw is going to get a strike back. I rolled a 2. Does not hit. End of that. That is the end of that. Okay, so next dice in the bag. This game is just about over. Stunned figures don't... I gotta take that Skelly out. That guy is messing me up. And, yeah. There's no way, guys. There's no way. Let me see. Alyjra stunned. Bones is stunned. And it's another freaking gray dice. Oh. Alright, so that would go to the guy here. And Alyjra is stunned. So, let's see what happens. Attacking in melee for the first time. Units only hit on unmodified rolls of 6. It's very important to remember because any strikebacks that occur, like Maw right now was striking back, he would be hitting on a roll of 6. So that's very important part of the rules. Sometimes I forget that, but I've been pretty good so far. Okay, so that's just very important to... I might have forgotten that in a previous attack. That's very important. Alright, moment of truth. This last Skelly is gonna hit my Alyjra, and she is stunned. He takes one more hit. All he needs to roll is a 4. And he rolls a 4! Oh, God. Don't. Don't. Nothing saves her now. She is stunned. And Alyjra is out of the game. I only have 1 point at the end of this round, and not even because Skelly. So it is 3-1. 3-1. So are the crossbow guys. So +1, they hit on 2s, and oh, one of them missed. Aryjra-Dy-Rinn missed. All right, so crossbow man hits. Skelly gets a defense roll at 4. Of course, Skelly defends. All right, so yeah, that's it, guys. That's it. Wraith doesn't go; they went already, and both Skellys went. All of my guys went. That's it. That's the end of the game. Round 4. Skellys win with a total of 3 victory points. They actually managed to protect their crypt, and I was not able to take these 2 objectives, including the middle objective, which would have been nice to hold. Unfortunately, I do not get victory points because of this damn Skelly that I could not kill, and he is 3 inches away from that, 3 inches away from that, so he counts as being in the way. I cannot score, and that sucks. So let's go to the post-game talk. This game is now over. Nice, short, and sweet, and let's see what the future holds for Alyjra. It was a tough lesson for her to learn. The narrative, well, it seems that Alyjra, she didn't really plan this expedition well. Let's blame it all on Alyjra, not on me. You know, I mean, I'm not controlling her or anything. So right now, there's solo games, a couple of solo games. We're going to develop Alydra's character a little bit with the games, and then Julie's going to come in, and things are going to change a little bit there. All right, so we'll see where Alyjra. Now, Alyjra was knocked out this game. She did not do too well. Okay, so she has failed in really... She's not dead. We're not going to say she's dead because she's a main character. But she's really not impressing her mother at all. And her mother's a very sweet mother. Yeah, sure. Her mother is the type of mother that has sent assassins to kill her older sister because her older sister, in her mother's eyes, has betrayed House Dy-Rinn. We'll learn more about Alydra's siblings in the future. Hope you enjoyed this game. I'm really having a ton of fun with one-page rules, and we'll talk again in the next game. Okay, so see you guys very soon. Have a great one. Hope you enjoyed it.